Hello, welcome back to my channel, Divine Libra Wisdom. um, Thank you so much for tuning in if you are returning, and if you are new, thank you so much for checking me out. Before I get started, I just want to get all my little things out of the way. And this, by the way, and that if you couldn't tell, this next reading, I've already done the air signs reading, but this will be for fire signs. But before, we get into the cards, like the shuffling and all the things, I want to get all my little disclaimers and things out of the way first. So, if you haven't subscribed, definitely take the time to subscribe, so that way that when I drop new videos, hit the bell notification thing, so that right when I do it, because it'll send you like a notification, a little alert, and let you know that I just posted something. Like the video as you're listening along, like the video, yeah, do all the things, put a comment down in the comment section. Even if you don't want to share how the video may have resonated with you, you can put a little emoji down there and just lets me know that you are listening and that you are enjoying the videos. And share the video, like share it out. If you know someone else who loves and enjoys tarot as well as oracle card readings, then this is definitely this space for them. I would love to connect with all of you, whoever's tuning in, to build a community over here. As I mentioned at the end of the air signs reading, I have opened, I don't know, I had to do some things to open up my community tab thing. So you can also, I think you can interact over there under different posts that I make, as well as any type of like new updates or information, or that type of thing. And I will start utilizing that more, as far as putting like my quick downloads that I get, or maybe like quick messages, just to kind of keep with you throughout the day, positive messages for each sign, each element, or each element, that type of thing. So yeah, what else? And I think that's it. I think I got all of my disclaimers out of the way. Yeah, and decks that I'm using, they will be in the description box. What else? Oh, and if you enjoy the way that I read, which again, when it's on a more personal level, I'm not so discombobulated, and I don't have so many squirrel moments. I'm really focused. Not to say that I'm not focused on what I'm doing right now, but I have less squirrel moments because I can focus on, I don't have so many things going at once. So yeah, and more so, I'm not in front of the camera at this point. I either do your reading, via Messenger on Facebook, or by email, and so that is like a written thing, or a written message, written out, and I show you, of course, give you a picture of your spread and that type of thing. So, there's things that I go through, and I can always tailor it, for you if you prefer a video over, written messages, totally fine. But yeah, we can go from there. But yeah, I said all that to say nothing. No, I'm just saying. If you want to get a reading from me, the way to do that will be down in the description box. I am working on, and I didn't mention this in the air signs video, but I am working on a landing page, and I think I may put a little message about that on the community tab thing. But yeah, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the fire signs reading and see what's coming up for you all. for some reason, fire signs, I'm getting like carnivals, fairs for you all. And I know this is autumn, and around this time, at least where I live, festivals are coming, like fall festivals, carnivals, the fair is coming up, so that could be significant for some of you all. Maybe you're going to some kind of fall festival. Maybe you could be traveling specifically for an event of some sort, or like a conference or symposium. What's the other thing? That's the same thing. Anime con, yeah. Where I live, there is in a couple of days actually, Comic Con, Anime Con thing that will be here, which I am definitely gonna try to go to, because I am a blurred. So yeah, that could be on your mind. That could be something that you're trying to do. Okay. All right, and as I mentioned before, in the air signs reading, we are doing 3 across for the tarot, angel tarot, and for the Trust Your Vibes oracle cards. We are doing 3. We are going start of the month, mid-month, and end of the month. Also, I know that we are 9 days in to the month of September, so I'm definitely late on that, but you know, things happen. But for some reason I thought I had these monthly readings up for the month of September, but I was looking at it wrong. I was looking at August, so there's that. But it's, you know, just in time for the 999 portal day, which is today, and it's all about, you know, fulfillment, you know, endings, enlightenment, you know, things coming to fruition. You're kind of like, you're going into, it's like 9, and then you're going into the 10 phase, or the 10 energy, and that's about, you know, your completion and starting over, you know, starting back at square one, which can be, you know, it can be kind of annoying, but, you know, especially if, you know, you have to kind of start all over. But either way, it's totally fine. I don't know why people like to call you and then they when I'm doing stuff. My phone will be like completely dry when I'm not doing anything. But when I'm doing something, that's when people want to try to call me. So hopefully that didn't interrupt the sound, because I am on my phone recording this. So yeah. Anyway, we still gonna rock out. Whew. Okay. And I'm trying to think if I get any more intuitive messages for the fire signs. I don't know, maybe you all are dealing with a whole bunch of calls, especially when you're trying to do something. I don't know, because that was kind of funny, because it didn't happen in the air signs reading. Okay, I don't really get anything else that's trying to come through intuitively as far as, like, you know, there's, you know, kind of random downloads, but we're going to take a look at the cards and see what's going on. Interesting. I see a card that came out in the air signs reading. So if you have air placements, or maybe you're like a cross watcher, maybe you should go check out the air sign reading, fire signs. Interesting. Okay, we're gonna start with the first card that came out. for the tarot, and it is Page of Air. So this is logical, honest, impulsive, curious. And it says challenging information, delays or change to plans, truth delivered without tact. So yeah, you're getting some communication, fire signs, that could kind of take you aback and kind of annoy you, frustrate you. Could see, since this is a Page of Air, so this could be coming from like a young air sign person. So even all the more reason to go check out air signs reading. And this could be like information that it could even be in the form of a call. Like you could be getting a call. I'm getting the idea of like maybe getting a call from like maybe your kids or a child of some sort, or maybe like a young adult child, or a young adult child. That doesn't make any sense. A young adult, you know, our early adult years, like and someone in their 20s, you know, 8 or even like 17ish, 18, you know, teenage person, because that's what I think of, like a teenage. I can think of like a child, but like a teenage person more specifically, and up to like the 25 and 25 kind of being like the cutoff. You know, so yeah, maybe you're getting a call from someone in that age range who is kind of abrasive with the information that they give you, or, you know, could even be kind of, kind of demanding with what they're asking you. So that could be kind of annoying as far as getting that call. I'm also getting maybe like something to do with you're on the job, so, you know, maybe you have some kind of annoying things happening at work that could kind of throw you off. I don't get the sense that this is something that completely takes you off, you know, your game, but because it also says delays or change to plans. Maybe it's something frustrating with like maybe you thought you had to go somewhere for work, or go to one place, but you have to change, or it's changed, and you have to change your whole route and go, you know, pick up and go somewhere else. Yeah, delays. I get, like, whenever I see delays, it makes me think of just like delays with travel. So yeah, that could be that. And it could just be that you maybe need to just chill out and just kind of, you know, it's like stuff is happening right now, and it's like you can't really do anything about it at the moment. So you kind of just have to like chill and just be like, okay, you know, which can be kind of hard for fire signs, because fire signs, they try to go, you know, they go after things. They get with it, you know. They don't want to wait. And fire signs can be kind of impulsive too with their, you know, they can kind of be very quick to lash out, especially when things are frustrating, or, you know, people are kind of, they feel, you know, people are like nitpicking at them or trying to control them. So yeah, even though, you know, it's Page of Air, but the impulsivity is very much can be a fire sign. Excuse me. Yeah, I think that's all I'm getting with that card. So we're going to move to mid-month. So mid-month, you have Queen of Water, tender-hearted, empathetic, patient, loving. And it says relationships develop to a new level. Trust your intuition. Care for yourself and others. This is the card that came out in the air signs reading, in the same position, funny enough. So yeah. Maybe there could be something developing maybe there's an age gap in the person that you're with, especially with the page of air that came out, and maybe you all are kind of having some growing pains as far as like y'all are not seeing eye to eye. And I don't get like a significant age gap, of course, because that would be weird. And so, but all I get more so like, you know, someone that's just maybe a few years younger than you, and you know, they may be still kind of, they may still have a little bit of immaturity about themselves. And so it could be like something, you get a call to come, you know, kind of help them out, or they need your help with something. But because I'm real focused on that care for yourself and others. Yeah. And it could be like, yeah, because it says relationships develop to a new level. You know, you could, you know, this could be kind of like the last straw for you. And it's just kind of like, okay, I need for you all, or I need for you rather, whoever you're in the relationship with. Or if it is, you know, more of like a familial relationship where, you know, between a parent and a child, or, you know, whatever, parent and their child, you're more so like kind of putting your foot down and saying, hey, there will be no more of this, doing this, you know what I mean? Is either, you know, get it together, or you have to make other arrangements. You have to do something else, because you're not going to be able to keep calling on me to, you know, bail you out, to, you know, and that could even be like literal bailing somebody out of jail because they decided to do something reckless. So yeah. And then I think even I mentioned in the air signs reading, like something came out like someone getting behind the wheel of a car, being inebriated. That's what kind of came through for me. And that could even be like having to bail someone out because they decided to do that. And so, yeah, you're kind of like cutting that off. You're like, you know, like it's like I was able to get, you know, you're able to kind of get off from doing that, but this is the very last time that you will do it, or it's the very last time that I will be bailing you out or helping you out. So it could be something like that. Of course, you know, put it how it fits, you know, within your life. You know, this is just, you know, what's coming out for me, but I'm reading for an entire fire sign collective. So, you know, it could resonate or not resonate, and it could be a totally, completely different scenario, but the energies are still the same. Okay. Again, but going back to like the romantic relationship, and it's kind of like a small kind of age gap between you and your partner. You know, they could be displaying some kind of like immature things, like, you know, weaponizing in their incompetence, you know, acting as if, you know, it costs an arm and a leg for them to, you know, do something, or, you know, pay attention to something, or, you know, it could be like having to, you know, especially like the relationship developing to a new level. You know, maybe you do have that heart to heart talk, like, you know, kind of like, I feel like you're doing this, and, you know, you kind of can go back and forth between like what's not working, especially having come out of that lunar eclipse moon that we just had, as well as, you know, it being a 999 day, or the 999 portal day. You know, this could be the time where you're like, okay, there's too much going on and nothing is being addressed. Everything is kind of being swept under the rug. And it's just kind of like, yeah, I need for, you know, there's a need for some things to change. And that can kind of lead to a new development in, you know, your, you know, relationship dynamic or whatever. And especially because like I get the feeling that, you know, you've been tenderhearted, you've been empathetic, you've been patient, and it's just kind of like, okay, enough is enough. You know, I have compassion for you, but at the same time, I'm gonna need you to stop this. Okay. Okay. So by the end of the month, you have the Empress card here. It's Archangel Gabriel, and it says lavish abundance, give birth to your dreams, nurture yourself and others. Yeah. So it can kind of tie into the Queen of Water card over here. Um, but I feel like, this is more so kind of, I feel like I get the sense of you having to, like, you've been kind of in that nurturing energy, more easygoing energy, more patient energy with someone, whether it be like a romantic relationship or a platonic relationship, familiar relationship. And it's just kind of like, okay, I need to kind of focus on myself as far as, what's not working for me personally, and this is something that's not working for me. And I need, you as a person, whoever, to kind of step your game up, and stop kind of leaning on me or other things to cope with certain things, or to to numb, things. You need to address problems, or, especially if you're having, you're having issues with dealing with, everyday life. Whoever this person is, even if it's, the things are reversed, and it's you who's, acting more immature, and, someone could be coming to you. That could also be like the challenging information that you get. You could get, it's kind of like a intervention in a way. Someone may be coming to you, kind of like making you aware of how you've been acting, or how you've not been acting. What you haven't been paying attention to. That could be like coming from a boss as well. Kind of telling you, hey, you kind of been missing the mark on this, or kind of coming to you about your attitude, or it could be a multitude of things, but that's just what I get. But yeah, whatever the case though, the Empress is, very much about abundance, and, focusing on your dreams and going after your aspirations, goals, that type of thing. So I feel like, perhaps that information can kind of give you some constructive criticism and put you back on the right track, even if you are a little adverse to, the information that you're receiving, because it could, of course, because it says kind of coming out without truth, coming delivered without tact. Maybe someone has to kind of speak to you in a harsh manner in order to really get your attention, to bring awareness to you that, something that you're doing is not quite right. And it's like it's gone on long enough, and you kind of need to kind of nip that energy in the bed, or in the bud. Okay. So now we're going to go to the Oracle and just kind of work our way to the end. So mid-month, or not mid-month, beginning of the month, seek solitude. So with the information that you receive, it could have made you want to kind of retreat to yourself. Maybe it kind of made you feel away. Maybe you feel kind of put on the spot, and you're feeling a little insecure about it. So, it could be that you maybe kind of lay low and kind of be to yourself at the beginning of the month here, and just kind of get your ducks in a row, and kind of get over the initial annoyance, maybe, or, what's the word? Defensiveness about this. Or it could be, again, it could be flipped, and this is what you're sort of dealing with, whenever you spoke your mind, spoke your piece, the person that you were dealing with, it could, like a younger air sign or whatever, could it could have made them go into isolation, or kind of draw into themselves, and just kind of be, to the point where they don't do anything, or they don't say anything. And it's like, it's not that you want that, it's just that you want them to kind of be mindful of how, they're acting, and the choices that they're making. Okay. All right, so then mid-month, we have stay in your own skin. Oh, and I'm sorry. Numbers that are significant for you are 3, 33, 26, 38. So a lot of 3s. So this is all about, like, creativity, growth, goals, joy, abundance. So that could be themes for you. And this could also, again, tie into like work, because that's normally where you're going to do a lot of collaborating, a lot of, communication with others, that sort of thing, communication with bosses and stuff like that. So as far as like stay in your own skin, I think it also kind of ties into the seeking solitude, like kind of being to yourself, doing the things that you love. Now, as it pertains to the Queen of Water, I feel like staying in your own skin, it kind of really speaks to like the trusting your intuition. Um, you know, I think it's kind of like being open to what other people say, but also having to go within and really dive deep and see what, and taking that constructive criticism and trying to find where it is that you're coming up short, or where you kind of like, okay, okay, yeah, maybe I can see where, you know, that person was like, okay, yeah, you need to kind of work on this, and then it's kind of like you're discovering that, yeah, even though I was kind of like annoyed with, it, bringing this information to me, especially in the way that it was said or the way it was done, I still can kind of see where they're coming from, and maybe it's kind of like you needed that tough love, in the long run, and so yeah, that's kind of what I think about when I see you stay in your own skin. Now you have exercise your vibes, and it aligns with the Empress, and the Empress is someone who's very like intuitive also. So yeah, I really feel like not that is, it's kind of literal as well, but also figuratively, exercise your vibes. To me, that means exercise your intuition, dive deep, think things through before, making any actions, making any, moves. Yeah, kind of seeing things clearly. So, like, taking the time to really, like, rest, but also, like, not jumping into things, not jumping up to react. Because, again, fire signs can be like that, and you literally have page of air up there, and it says impulsive. And so a lot of times, fire signs may be kind of quick to want to react to something, especially when someone is trying to tell them something about themselves. Sometimes they can't really hear it, especially in the moment. And so you kind of have to like take it and then kind of cool off, and then come back at a later time and be like, okay, I had some time to think about this, and yes, I did kind of pop off, but I can kind of see where you're coming from. I was just kind of annoyed the way that you came at it. That's what I'm kind of seeing in my mind, like someone giving someone some constructive criticism, and it may come out a little harsh, and then that fire sign may kind of pop off, and they kind of like, okay, and kind of like, and then, but after they've had time to kind of cool off and, kind of do the things, they can kind of come back to the situation and be like, okay, yeah, I can kind of see where you're coming from, and I understand, but, here's how I feel. Okay, so that's what I think about exercise your own vibes. So yeah, I'm just kind of making sure that I don't see anything else. Thought I saw something else, but that's something different. That's like a baby. That's not a young or a teenage person or like a young adult. Okay, so that's all I have for you fire signs. Hopefully it resonated. If it did, let me know down in the comment section and leave, how it resonated. If you don't feel comfortable sharing that, definitely just leave an emoji down in the comment section and let me know that you are fire signs and that you're following along. It can be whatever you like, just as long as it's cute. And all the things. Like the video. It costs nothing to like the video. Share the video if you feel comfortable doing so, with people who may enjoy tarot as well as oracle cards as well. Subscribe. That lets you know when I drop new videos, and new videos will be coming again very soon. I kind of had forgotten that I missed these monthly readings, or the monthly elemental readings, and so that's why it's coming out on the 9th. What else? If you want to figure out how to book a personal reading with me, there you can do so by going to the description box and looking for my email. Send me an email and we can go from there. Also, I figured out that I needed to turn on the community tab thing, so now I can interact with people over there, and more things are coming as I continue to grow this platform over here. But yeah, definitely look forward to connecting with people who enjoy tarot and oracle cards, and getting to know you, and hopefully make some friends, and we can read for each other. If you also are a tarot reader, oracle card reader, that type of thing, but also once things kind of get going, you'll be invited. People, once I see that the want is there, I have a Discord, so there will be a section there where you can kind of enter. You'll get an invite if you're interested, and we can talk about discuss tarot and oracle cards over there, more in-depth spiritual things, pull cards for you all, and that type of thing. All right, so that's later on down the line. I'm speaking things into existence, and yeah. So thank you so much, fire signs. Look for me again. Hit the bell notification on the subscribe button so that you know when I drop new videos, and because new videos are coming soon, and that's the best way you can stay up to date, besides the community tab when I put new information over there. Okay, have a good day.